Hey guys, welcome back again. Joe here from Zero World Aquatics, and here we are, part 5 of this ornamental pond build-out. Alright, so as you can tell, the liner is in, the rock formation has begun, and we're definitely building up this left side. Like in part 4 that we talked about, all the extra rocks got thrown here on the sidewall just so we had easy access to them so that we can start shaping over here in the top area where the waterfall is going to go. But I've already realized that we do not have enough rocks. I can't believe this. I mean, there are a lot of rocks here. Actually, there is still that little pile over there, but for the most part, for what I want to do, and that's beefing up this whole area up here, I'm forced to really go out and seek out more rocks. So that being said, I called Chuck and I said, Chuck, we need more of this style rock right here, a lot of the flatter stuff down by the river. So just got off the phone with him, so it looks like we're on a little adventure. We're heading south back to Windsor, Ohio to go meet up with Chuck, and well, we're going to go down to the river and grab some more rock. All right, let's get on the road. We're out of here. All right, guys, we have made it down to the river here. I'm with Chuck, and he's obviously on the machine moving some stuff around. And it's kind of hard to tell. Things have grown over a lot, but the river flows right through here. And obviously just keeps on going for probably miles and miles and miles. But obviously there are tens of thousands of rocks that just keep on going. Let me come over here real fast. We gotta load this up. Stand by. All right, guys, got back from Chuck's house the other night. Went ahead and unloaded the truck. And now that a day or two has kind of gone by, they've dried out a little bit, except for what happened last night. Man, we got hammered with some rain. So here's those rocks right here. But as you can tell, I got the pump hooked up and I'm getting ready to drain the pond. I can't believe this, but look at this right here. We've probably got a foot of water in the bottom already. So, all right, guys, it's the next day. Let me show you what I got done yesterday. So I beefed up this whole area right throughout here. This area is definitely going higher. There's a couple new rocks over here on the left. These two right here. But the big thing is, like I said, we're trying to beef up this area back here. And that takes a lot of screwing around. So some of these rocks are gone that were right here on the corner. A couple of the rocks that were down here on the ground have been removed. Let me take you over here. The liner, a big portion of the liner was cut out because it was kind of difficult to do what I had to do, kind of working around all of the extra liner. So heck, this right here probably has to be probably 40 feet in length, probably 15 feet wide. So that will be used somewhere else. But you can see where I did a kind of a rough cut around the perimeter. Some areas I left longer because I know they're going to be coming up higher for the waterfall. But you can see right here that this area now is starting to get a little bit higher where the waterfall is going to go. There's been a couple whole new rocks that have been positioned down inside here and over here. So probably, I'd say close to probably 30 some rocks are new from yesterday's work. And then also, like I said, beefing this area up over here. So, but today's job is to fold back the liner in this area and in this area to expose those corners that we worked on a week or two ago. Because just about an hour ago, we went to Home Depot and picked up what I need, which was these 4 blocks right here. These are 16 inches long, 8 inches wide, and 4 inches thick. We're going to make up some mud, and those are going to go on the top here. So let me go ahead and peel back the liner, and let's show you what this is going to look like here in a little bit. Up an extra 4 inches, which is probably going to get us real close to this area over here. But remember, even once these 2 blocks are landed, this area will get filled with concrete also. Back to that keystone conversation we had in the last video. So 2 over there, and then 2 more right over here. Plus that's going to make it so I can raise the elevation of the water up a little bit higher. So, all right, that being said, let's go ahead and make up some mud and land these blocks. All right, these corners are done, or at least a little bit closer. Top caps on both sides. And so what we're going to do is we're going to let that set up for the night, and then tomorrow I'll come back, we'll fill in this voided area right here, which will tie in, as we talked about before, this wall, the bracket, and obviously the front section of the wall right here. So that's definitely a good point to really give this some serious strength. So remember, when that glass goes in, we're going to be, if I remember, the glass is 39 inches tall, so we're going to be right about here somewhere. And also, remember, this gets a 2-inch piece of sandstone. That'll get us right about here, so we'll have a little bit of a lip right here that will protect us from the sandstone actually hitting the glass. Now granted, they say the glass will be a little bit higher. We're going to have to take caution around that, but there's not much I can do because obviously the glass was free. And this whole area could not go down any lower as far as this bracket. I think we talked about this in part 1 or 2, where, I mean, that was pretty much bottomed out. So it is what it is. So plus I think by having the glass just a tad higher, any splashing, just that extra 2 inches on top here will help from any splashing or anything kind of going up and over top also. So, all right guys, I'm back at it. We had a little bit of a casualty the other day. I was stepping through here and with the liner folded over, right liner on a liner. Damn if I didn't have a rock in my hand, and the liner kind of slipped on itself, and obviously I dropped the rock, landed on my foot, twisted my back, almost poked a hole in the liner. So I've been down for a day or two. I can't believe this. So probably should have had a second person, but I'm pretty bullheaded, and well, obviously what happened. So top of my foot is kind of black and blue. So that was kind of fun there, having about a 75-pound rock drop on my foot. But whatever the case, with this being down for a couple of days, kind of maybe started rethinking this a little bit. Waterfall box, and I need a skimmer. And before I was thinking about putting a skimmer over there, but now that I've been kind of looking at it, it only makes sense. In reality, it needs to be right there, because as that water's coming down the waterfall, it's going to be pushing everything in this direction. So by putting a skimmer over here, me personally, I don't think it's going to work correctly. So I pretty much conceded that I'm going to have to dig this whole area out, and it's going to get kind of deep because the supply line on the bottom of this skimmer has got to work its way all the way around the bend here to eventually where the filtration system is going to go way back there. So that's going to be kind of a deep trench, probably pushing in some areas 4.5 feet. So that's going to be a tough one there. But while I was on Facebook Marketplace, lo and behold, I think I found what we need. So definitely a special shout out to Tom and his boy Evan. They own A1 Landscape and Design. I'm going to leave a link in the description below. But these guys service the area of Brook Park, Middleburg Heights, Berea, Parma, Seven Hills, Brecksville, North Royalton, and Strongsville. And they were actually doing a pond rebuild, and they pulled out these 2 items. So I just got back probably about an hour ago. Look at the size of these monsters right here. So this obviously is a skimmer. Here is the original liner that was on it. They're doing a rebuild right now. Probably should have filmed it a little bit, but I kind of got in and out of there in a little bit. But so they removed it. So what I'll need to do is I need to pull off these screws, clean up this whole area, clean this thing down a little bit. But the new liner obviously is going to go in the exact same spot as this one. And this is made by Little Giant. So great skimmer box there. And as far as the supply line, we're either going to be popping in right here or down here. So I need to look at this a little bit further. Actually, in this case, because it's the way the pipe is, I wouldn't be surprised if I pop a hole back here, because this would probably work out best for me as it works its way over to the filtration system. And then obviously as it goes through that filtration system, the return line is going to be heading up that mountain that we're building, heading for this waterfall box right here. So same thing, this thing's a beast. Here's the hole in the back. So that's where the second bulkhead is going to go. But yeah, these things are probably pushing 2 foot tall and 16 to 18 inches in diameter. So great find there. I'll tell you what, these things can get very, very expensive. I mean, I've seen anywhere between $300 and $600 each for these guys right here. So, but yeah, take a look at A1 Landscape and Design, Tom and Evan. And like I said, they're right here in Northeast Ohio, and they do a lot of pond rebuilds, and they actually are subscribers to the channel, and they're watching what I got going on here, and they're liking it so far. But actually, with that being said, Tom did bring up something that kind of caught my ear, and at first I was like, yes, no, maybe, I don't know, but he was talking about when he was watching my video that I might be doing something wrong back here as far as on how I'm kind of making the waterfall and stacking this area up. And what he's getting at is, like, I've got a lot of rocks that are under the liner. Let me move this back. Oh, well, there's a mouse right there. You son of a gun. Which kind of goes hand in hand with the conversation I'm going to bring up right now, because he was talking about squirrels. And what happens is there's some voided areas between the rocks and the dirt, and what they like to do is they like to get between all of these areas and dig out their little holes and make for a new house. So I thought, okay, but he goes, well, the problem lies is they keep digging, and the next thing you know, they've gotten to the liner and they chew right through the liner. So about 30 minutes ago, I was up on the deck and I seen a squirrel pop out from underneath the liner, and now that I'm videotaping this, we have ourselves a nice little field mouse here that is checking things out also. So, Tom, you were 100% correct, brother. So we gotta have to deal with that. So there are a couple things that you can do. Pretty much he's saying use dirt only, kind of stay away from the rocks where they can create their little crevices, or use a lot of sand because the sand kind of caves in on itself. Or we can spray a couple items, because I'm already so far into this now, I don't want to go backwards a lot. There's items that you can put like peppermint or ivory, like literally like ivory soap, like little kernels or broken off pieces in a lot of the areas, because the mice and the squirrels don't like a lot of these items. So trapping obviously is going to be another thing. So what we don't want to happen is we don't want one of these little rodents to be tearing a hole through the liner. So I can't believe we just found a mouse. So all right, so we just got back from Home Depot. We picked up 4 more rocks. There's the 2 right there on the left, and what we got to do is we got to raise this up a tad higher. The more that I'm looking at this, I don't think we're going to be at the proper height. We're going to go just probably about 4 inches higher so that we can kind of get in line with the skimmer box. You can see I went ahead and started cutting out the side of the pond here. There actually is a line right there. So by using that as a reference point, kind of working my way backwards here with the window to be someday, I'm hoping that the water level will be right about here somewhere. So that obviously, as you can tell, is right above these 2 blocks that I put in last week. So I probably should, in reality, instead of doing 4 high, I should have gone 5 high, but I didn't think at the time that we were going to go that high, but obviously I was wrong. So we dropped in the first 2, and now here goes the second 2, but no big deal. In the end, you're not going to see this at all. The liner is going to be going over top this whole thing and working its way right into the face of the skimmer box right here. So I did start kind of messing around with the trench a little bit. That is going to work its way all the way around to way back there. So that is kind of slowly starting to take shape. I do need to pick up the piping for the supply and return lines. So that's kind of also in the makings right now. But for tonight, we're going to land these 2 blocks, these 2 blocks. As you can see, I also have started to work on the waterfall a little bit higher. We're going. I think all the rocks that were in the yard are pretty much in the work area now. And as you can see, we're really starting to beef this up. So waterfall box will be right here in the end. I think probably another 2 feet or less of stone for the front section. So I just got to beef up this area right here. Obviously this is going to get cut and this will get kind of worked around, but I think we're at the final elevation for the actual waterfall. Now, right now I've just got it sitting there. I got it sitting backwards so I can see where I'm working, but yeah, I think we're almost there. All right, so let me go ahead and get on these 4 extra stones so that we can start bringing this liner back and kind of dressing out this area right here. Obviously it's not pretty, all the joints are kind of filled in right now. Granted, you're not going to see any of this when the entire pond is completed, but there we have it. I guess the positive thing is that we are perfectly level. I don't know how this worked out, but it worked out. But from this face to the original face, I am dead nuts. So what we're going to do is we're going to let this set up for the night, and then tomorrow we're going to go ahead and probably put a piece of plywood right here and then prep to fill in this voided area with the other style of concrete mix that's around the opposite side of the wall right now. So we want to fill this keystone in that we talked about before on both sides of the up and coming window. So, but for tonight, that's pretty much it. We're going to let this set up, harden up. All right, guys, take a look at this new rock we just got from Don's house. It's got a lot of moss on it, but we're still undecided if we want to pressure wash this or just leave it the way it is. So pretty good sized rock, probably 4 feet in length, 2 feet front to back, and probably pushing 3-4 inches in thickness. So we're going to go ahead and lay this on the concrete wall temporarily, and eventually it's going to work its way all the way to the top. So we also picked up these 2 big boys right here, and down inside the 150-gallon Rubbermaid container, a couple more to help in the aquascaping that we're doing for the pond. But then Christopher also brought over some rocks. Check these out. These were over at his neighbor's yard, and they've got kind of like a purplish chocolate look to them. So I think when these get wet, these are going to be absolutely stunning. Look good. All right, yeah, that's going to look really good. So, all right, so it's the next day, and well, obviously work has come to a complete screeching halt because look what happened during the night. We got hammered with some rain, man. That thing's got to be probably pushing almost 2 feet deep. So I guess I'll be pulling out the pump and the hose and draining that down before we get too crazy. But before the rain came in, I was able to work this area here. I actually had to pull the liner and the underlayment back because I got some areas here that were not looking good, so I had to reshape all that. So, but now we're looking great, and I got some new rock formations there, and I think that's going to turn out pretty good in due time. So, all right, that's going to pretty much wrap it up for this video right now, and we're going to, guess we're going to see you on the next one, and hopefully by that time, this whole area right here is really beefed up. And we're starting kind of working this back over here on the left, and same on the right for the skimmer box and the waterfall box, which is way up here. So, all right, that being said, thanks for watching, subscribing, following along, and we will see you on the next part. Until then, we're out of here.